What if I told you Bubba Wallace didn't just wreck his own race at Talladega Superspeedway, but may have just triggered one of the biggest controversies NASCAR has seen all year? Because right now, fans are split in two. Half the internet is saying he caused the big one. The other half is saying he got shoved into it. And the wild part? 26 cars destroyed. Half the field wiped out championship contenders gone in seconds. So the real question is, did Bubba Wallace just make a huge mistake, or did NASCAR's entire superspeedway system just get exposed again? Let's rewind. This wasn't chaos from the start. Early in the race at Talladega, things were actually calm. NASCAR stretched stage 1 to nearly 100 laps to slow things down. And for a while, it worked. Drivers were saving fuel, playing strategy, trying not to wreck early, but then stage 2 started. And everything changed. The pack tightened. The pushing got aggressive, and suddenly everyone went from patient to full send at nearly 200 miles per hour, and that's when it happened. Lap 115, Bubba Wallace is leading the race. Behind him, Ross Chastain lines up for a push. But this wasn't a light bump. It was a hard shove. That contact sends Wallace sideways. The car gets unstable, and in a split second, the entire field stacks up. Cars spinning smoke everywhere, nowhere to go. And just like that, the big one, 26 cars involved. Names like Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, all taken out race red-flagged day over. And this is where everything exploded because fans didn't agree on what they just saw. Some said Bubba caused it. Bad block. Too aggressive. Others fired back. He got shoved. That's on Chastain. Two completely different conclusions. And that's why this is such a mess. Because the truth, it's not simple. Then came Bubba Wallace's reaction, and it only made things worse. On team radio, he sounded frustrated, blaming the situation, but on TV, completely different tone. He said, "We've got to figure out how to be pushed better. I take responsibility." Now to some people that sounded mature, but to others, it sounded like he was avoiding full blame, and that's when social media went off over on X. It turned into a war zone, fans calling him out, others defending him, some even demanding penalties. And then things got even messier, because now the broadcast itself got dragged into it. Fox Sports posted Bubba's interview, but fans noticed something. The clip was edited, his sarcastic opening line gone. And instantly, people accused Fox of cleaning up the moment. Whether it was intentional or not, it made the whole situation feel even more suspicious. But here's where it gets interesting. Other drivers didn't fully blame Bubba. Ryan Blaney said, "That's just what this racing is." Joey Logano went even further. Save fuel or crash. Pick one. That's a huge statement, because now the focus shifts away from one driver and onto NASCAR itself. This wasn't just about Bubba Wallace. This was about the current superspeedway package. Cars too unstable, too dependent on pushing, too easy to lose control. One bad shove, and the whole field pays the price. Again. So here's the reality. Was Bubba Wallace at the center of the wreck? Yes. Did he make a perfect move? No. But was this only his fault? Not even close. Because Talladega doesn't need much to go wrong. And right now, this version of NASCAR racing feels like a ticking time bomb. So now I want to hear from you. Was Bubba Wallace to blame for the big one, or is NASCAR's system the real problem? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And for more NASCAR drama, breakdowns, and inside stories, hit subscribe, because this story, it's far from over. What happens when your teammate becomes the hottest driver in NASCAR and you're still waiting for your moment? That's exactly the situation right now inside 23XI Racing. Because while Tyler Reddick is making history, Bubba Wallace just said what a lot of drivers would never say out loud. Let's start with Reddick, because this whole story only works if you understand just how insane his run has been. 5 wins, 9 races. That hasn't happened since Dale Earnhardt did it back in 1987. Let that sink in. Reddick isn't just winning. He's dominating. He's leading the standings, pulling away from the field. And every single weekend he looks like the guy to beat, even at Kansas, where everything could have gone wrong. Fuel issues, late race chaos, overtime restart, still wins. That's not luck. That's a driver operating at another level. And when someone starts winning like this, fans don't react normally. They start asking questions online, Things have gotten wild, people throwing around cheating accusations, saying the car is too fast, that something isn't adding up now. There's zero proof of anything, but that kind of noise. It changes the atmosphere, especially for the guy sitting in the same garage. Because here's the part most people are missing. Bubba Wallace isn't having a bad season. He's 8th in points, multiple top 10 finishes, running competitive every week. That's solid. But when your teammate is rewriting history, solid doesn't feel like enough, and that's where Bubba finally spoke out. Not with anger, not with excuses, but with honesty. He said something that defines this entire story. When is it our turn? That line, that's everything, because it tells you this isn't jealousy, this is hunger. He's not asking why Reddick is winning, he's asking when his team can turn that same speed into results. And that's a huge difference. Bubba even gave credit to what's happening inside the team. Said preseason meetings lit a fire. Said the performance isn't random. In other words, he sees it. He understands it. And that might be the most important part, because from the outside it looks like one car dominating and one car falling behind. But from the inside, Bubba sees a blueprint. He knows the speed is there. He knows the cars are capable. Now it's about execution. And then came the most relatable moment of all. Bubba said at Kansas, he felt like they were finally breaking through, running inside the top 10, getting closer to the top 5, and then Reddick passes him. Just like that, and Bubba's reaction? Never mind, maybe next week. It's funny, but it also says everything because that's what it feels like right now. Every time Bubba gets close, here comes the 45 car again, faster, stronger, untouchable. And here's why his reaction hits even harder. Bubba knows what a drought feels like. He went over 100 races without a win before finally breaking through. So when he talks about being close, that's not talk, that's experience. And yet, he doesn't sound defeated, he sounds motivated. That's the difference, because sitting 8th in points, you're not out of it. You're just not at the top yet. And inside a team like 23X, that creates pressure. But not the bad kind. The kind that pushes everyone forward, because now the standard is clear. It's Tyler Reddick, and every driver in that garage knows it. So what happens next? For Reddick, it's simple. He's the favorite every week now. Anything less than a win feels like a surprise. For Bubba, the mission is different. Turn consistency into a breakthrough, turn top 10s into top 5s, and eventually into wins. Because if he does, now you've got 2 cars at that level, and that's when things get scary for the rest of NASCAR. So this isn't just a story about dominance, it's a story about pressure, competition, and what happens when one teammate raises the bar for everyone else. So what do you think? Is Bubba Wallace really close to breaking through? Or is Tyler Reddick just on a level nobody can match right now? For more NASCAR drama, deep dives, and real stories, hit subscribe,